everybody, my name is Elizabeth and welcome back to my channel where I encourage everyone to go out and enjoy their lives, even if that means doing it by yourself. Okay, well today is the last vlog in my Orlando trip series and it's kind of a wrap up of everything that happened and just kind of my thoughts on the trip. It was great. I had so much fun. I was concerned before I left that I would not have enough energy for the whole thing and I would get maybe halfway through and, just not have the strength to do any more days in the park. And that really didn't happen. I was exhausted by the end of every single day and my feet were so tired and so sore. And then I would go back to the hotel room and sleep and I would wake up and be ready for a new day. Now, I've been trying to think of what my favorite parts of the trip were, and that's so hard because every day had such fun, great things. I really loved the 2 concerts I saw at Epcot, my 2 Epcot days. They were fantastic. The food at the Epcot Festival was wonderful. It's hard to pick a favorite, Epic Universe was a great time. Just to do something new and to do it with my parents and just take our time. And, we didn't have to stay till real late every day. Because by that point I was getting tired, I didn't want to stay up, late into the evening every day by that point. But we still, even though we didn't get to do everything because the crowds were pretty high those 2 days, all the wait times for the rides were real long for a good part of each of those days. We still got to do the things that were priorities for us, and then just kind of got to take it easy and enjoy looking at things and not feel like we were rushing from one thing to another. So that was a lot of fun. The Monsters Unchained ride, I think, was probably our favorite. But the Harry Potter ride was great too. It's hard to pick. I also got to go on the 2 roller coasters. Well, there are more than that, but the 2 roller coasters that I wanted to go on, which was Curse of the Werewolf in the Dark Universe, the Monsters area, and Hiccup's Wing Gliders in the How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk area. And I had a lot of fun on both of those. Let's see. Hollywood Studios was a good time. That was the other park that I've never been to before. So, I got to do so much that day. I got to do all the shows and most of the rides. There were a couple that I didn't do, but it was more an intentional skip than oops, I couldn't fit it in skip. That was a great day. I also really enjoyed Animal Kingdom. My parents were with me that day, and so it was a little different than the days I was spending by myself. But I love Animal Kingdom. I love zoos. You guys know that. So it's a little bit of everything that I really like. It's the animals. It's some cool live shows. It's a little bit of Disney. Well, a lot of it of Disney. But it's a more relaxing park than some of the other ones because there are less rides that you have to worry about getting to. But I say that, but that was the one park that I kind of my parents and I stayed to the end of the night and we still didn't get to do everything that we wanted to do, or at least everything that I wanted to do. So, and that was partly because we started our day with breakfast at Boma. And so we got to the park a little later, but it was still a great day. Even if we had, if I had to cross a couple of things off my list that I had intended to do, that's okay. My mom went on Flight of Passage with me. And I wasn't sure if she was going to like it because she does tend to get motion sick. And so I had her take some Dramamine about an hour before just to make sure. And my dad was going to go on it too originally. And then we went on Dinosaur and that rattled him around. And he was like, I'm done with rides. So that was fine. I kind of expected that a little bit. For one of them, I expected Dinosaur, but my mom ended up loving Dinosaur. She was laughing the whole time. And then she went on Flight of Passage with me and loved that too. I could hear her really enjoying that next to me, and she got off and she was, she just loved it. So, that was a lot of fun. But yeah, by the time we were off the ride, it was after 6, which is what time the park closed. So, we had to figure out dinner plans, and we had to, I had to kind of like, well, we're not going to get to do that, those other things like the new Zootopia show and things like that. Which was fine. It's not like it's a live action show. I prefer live action shows anyway, so it was fine that we had to miss that. What days am I missing? Disney Springs, it was fun, just to meet my family there. And that Raglan Road, with the live music, that was great. The food was delicious, and to see the singers and the dancers was, it was a good way to like enhance the meal. So if you guys are there and you have never been to Raglan Road at Disney Springs, I really recommend it. Also, I don't remember if I mentioned this in my wrap up of that video, but I met Sophia, who is another influencer who has done a lot more than I have, and she saw me. And she picked up really quick, that I was doing a vlog, and she wanted to be included. So, that was pretty exciting to meet her and to have someone be very encouraging in what I was doing. Now, my after hours at Magic Kingdom, it was fun. It was a lot for the first night I was there because I was still feeling a little iffy. I mean, not iffy is the wrong word, but because the car ride the day before always just kind of like knocks me out, any long, travel day just kind of sends me for a loop. But I still enjoyed myself, and I stayed, until it closed. So, no regrets there. I expected to be able to there were a couple rides that had longer lines all night until the very end. And that was a little disappointing. I had kind of hoped that I would be able to get on all of those big ones. And I just, by the end of the night, I had to pick and choose because the lines were just too long. But it was still fun, and I would still probably do it again. If I go back next time, I might try to do something similar if I can work out the schedule that way. Now, the one downside to the trip is that it was cold. You don't think of Florida as being cold ever, but it was January, and we were there right in the middle of that massive winter storm that we got this year. Now it didn't snow down there, but some of the mornings were in the 30s. Like when I went to the park, it was still in the 30s. And I had to just plan and, wear coats, and I had a scarf with me. So that was the one thing that was, of course, you don't want to be in Florida and have it be in the 30s. But honestly, I would rather have it be in the 30s for a couple hours in the morning than have it be, 100% humidity in the afternoon. So preferences. That's just my preference. Now, would I have preferred it maybe to start in the 40s and then, a little warmer? Yes, but you can't have everything. So, but it was, it didn't really affect too much. Honestly, the day I felt it most was the day that I met Hiccup and Toothless. And I had got a t-shirt that says, "My Patronus is a Night Fury." And if you're fans of both Harry Potter and How to Train Your Dragon, you'll understand that. So it had a picture of Toothless on it, in the bluish kind of, that looked like a Patronus. And so it was in the 30s that morning, and I met him in the morning. And so I had on top of that t-shirt, I had a sweatshirt and a coat and a scarf. And when I got up, it was my turn. I was like, I am meeting him in this t-shirt. I bought this t-shirt. And so right before I went up, I took off the coat and the scarf and the sweatshirt, and I went up and met Hiccup and Toothless in my t-shirt. And that was very cold. I got done with them, and I was like pulling all the stuff back on as quick as I could because it was so cold. But I'm glad I did it because now I have a picture with Toothless in my Toothless t-shirt. But yeah, that was probably one of the most fun things I did because the actor who played Hiccup was so fun, and he was pretty good, at his imitation. And I'm such a fan of that movie that it was that was just a very fun experience, and one that was probably, I think that was the second longest line I waited in after the roller coaster, the How to Train Your Dragon roller coaster. It was about an hour and a half to meet them. But I was determined. I was like, yeah, I love this movie and I want that picture. So I did it. And then my last day, where I did both of the other Universal parks in the same day, that was a busy day. Like, I fit a lot into that day, except for the one thing that I went to those parks thinking I have to do this. And that was ride Hagrid's Magical Motorbike Adventure. I think I got the name right. It was just, the line was too long all day. You know, when I got there in the morning, it was already 3 hours long. And I got there during my, like, you know, I was a hotel guest. And so I was able to get in, you know, an hour early. And it did not drop below 2 hours the entire day. And I watched. I would pull it up every 15 or 20 minutes to see what the wait time was. And it just never dropped down. And so it was another, you know, it was a choice that I made. I could have gone and, you know, waited in that line and rode that ride. And then not done some of the other stuff that I did. But when you're paying money to be somewhere, I want to make sure I'm making the most of that time and that money. And waiting in a single line for 3 hours, I just feel like I could be better spending my time elsewhere. So, it was intentional. Even though at the beginning of the trip, I was like, that's the one thing I have to do. I made the conscious choice not to. And is it unfortunate that worked out that way? Of course, but I stand by my decision. Now, over half the trip, I would say I did by myself. It's something that I recommend. You know, my whole channel is about encouraging people to do things by themselves. You know, if you are in a situation where you can't always find someone to do something with you, and that includes vacation. Don't keep yourself from going on trips just because, you know, you don't have a spouse to do it with, or you don't have, you know, your friends aren't available or can't, you know, don't want to do the same vacation as you or whatever. Don't let that stop you from doing those things. Now, it doesn't have to be an almost 2-week long Orlando vacation. I've been planning this and saving for this for a couple of years now. So don't, do something that, has always spoken to you, something that you have always wanted to do. And don't let time slip by and think, when I get married or when, I meet find a friend that wants to do this with me or whatever. Don't let that happen, because next thing you know, you're going to be, too old to do it, or, something else is going to prevent you from doing that. So, that doesn't mean you have to run out and do everything, or you can't save some special stuff for, when you meet your spouse or whatever, but don't save everything for, that time in your life. Do stuff now, while you're single, while you have the time and maybe a little bit of extra income to go out and do something fun that you've always wanted to do. It's fun. Even if you are by yourself, get used to it first. Maybe check out some of my other vlogs and get some ideas for stuff that you can do that's not going to be a long vacation. So you can get used to being by yourself, get used to eating out by yourself before you do something like this. But yeah, it's fun, and you can, the only person you have to worry about is you, and that sounds selfish. I realize that sounds kind of selfish, but we've all been on vacations where you're just kind of like, I guess I'll do that because that's what everyone else wants to do, or you really want to do something and nobody else wants to do it. So you're like, all right, we don't have to do it or whatever, but if you go by yourself, then you don't have to worry about pleasing someone else or meeting everybody else's expectations. So that's my pitch for going on a vacation by yourself at least once. Now, maybe it doesn't have to be a whole vacation. You guys just saw I went on a vacation that I'm kind of calling a solo trip, but that's only partly true. My parents, we drove down together then we split off and did our own thing. Then we kind of came back together. Then we split off. Then we came, like that is okay to do too. And, my dad was actually saying, we can do that because nobody gets offended. It's okay that we want to do different things sometimes. I didn't get offended when my dad didn't want to do that ride with us. He didn't get offended that we didn't not go on the ride because he didn't want to go on it. It was okay. This is a time when we're going to step off and do our own thing, and that's okay. And, so try to find, if you are going to do something like this, try to find people that are going to be understanding and not offended if you want to go off and do something or don't want to do something that they want to do, So yeah, I guess that's my recommendation. Now there's one more thing I want to do in this vlog, and that is show you some of the things that I got when I was in Florida. And yeah, there's not a ton of it, but there's some, and some of it's gifts for other people and some of it's for me. And I just kind of want to show you. So here we go. Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to show you was actually given to me as a gift by my aunt and uncle who live in Orlando, and I got to see when I was there. And, they said when they saw it that they bought it for me because I was the only person in the world who would appreciate it. And I have to agree with them. So I'm going to show you it in two parts. I'm going to show you kind of, because it's two pieces. So I'm going to show it to you how I opened it because I think it's funnier that way. Okay, first I opened this, which is a little grand piano made out of glass or some kind of, glass porcelain. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cute, because I have a piano. It's right over there. And I kind of pretend like I play the piano. And so I was like, oh, that's cute. And then I opened the second part and I understood why they got it for me. It's a penguin in a little tuxedo sitting on the piano bench. And he's playing the piano. And I can't even express how much I love this. It's so cute. and I understood. I was like, oh yes, I would be the only person in the world that would appreciate this. So I love it. I love it. Okay, next is some things that I got for free, kind of. I mean, yeah. And I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep them, but they came with food that I got. So the first is this little Festival of the Arts cup. I got a little smoothie and it was very tasty and it came in this cup. And I was like, it's very cheap, but I didn't want to make the decision to get rid of it while I was there in the park. So I rinsed it out. I stuffed it in my backpack and brought it home. So whether or not I actually keep this, we'll see. But it was something I brought back. And then the second thing came with my ice cream from Florian Fortescue's, which now that I've actually tasted the ice cream, I don't know if I'm going to keep it because I heard so much about everybody's like, oh, Florian Fortescue's ice cream in Universal is the best ice cream ever. And then I tasted it because I've been, wanting to try this ice cream for years. And I was disappointed. I was like, I can't tell the difference, because I got the strawberry peanut butter and then I got, which was kind of like swirled together. And then I got the salted caramel blondie. And it literally all just tasted like sweet cream. Like I couldn't taste peanut butter. I couldn't taste strawberry and I couldn't taste caramel. And so I'm not sure if I got just a bad batch or if everybody just talks about it because I don't know. They've never had good ice cream. I don't know. I feel like I'm alone here though, because I've been hearing about that ice cream for years, and I finally tried it and I was like, this is not, I can get better ice cream at the grocery store. So anyway, I got it in the cup because I thought, well, that'll be a fun souvenir. It was only like $1.50 extra to get it in this. I was like, oh, that'll be fun. It's a much more substantial and better quality than that other one. But now that I've had the ice cream, I'm like, oh, and it looks, sorry, I should show you it looks like this. But now that I've tasted the ice cream, I'm like, it's not that special anymore. So we'll see. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Have you tried that ice cream? Do you think it like lives up to its reputation? Because I did not think it lived up to the reputation. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, I brought back a few edible souvenirs, which I guess, does that make them souvenirs? Like if they don't stick around for very long, is it still a souvenir? I don't know. I got some peppermint toads from the Harry Potter area. Sorry, I know that's backwards, but they're just little tiny chocolate, peppermint flavored chocolate toads. And I like peppermint chocolate, so hopefully those are good. And then from Epic Universe had a little like sweet shop at the front, and I don't know, I just wanted to get something from them. So they had like a buy two for one price. I don't remember what the price was, but I got some dark chocolate sea salt caramels. It says Moonship chocolates and celestial sweets. And then I got some milk chocolate peanuts. So I haven't opened them or tried any of those things yet. So hopefully they're good. If you guys have been watching my channel, you probably have picked up that I collect magnets. So I picked up a few magnets and a few things to turn into magnets because I was having a hard time. Like they always had magnets at every place, but like the selection wasn't great. And sometimes I just I did not like the magnet that they had. So I think I have one actual magnet and then I've got a bunch of stuff to turn into magnets. So let me show you. First is the actual magnet, and it says Walt Disney World with Mickey, and it's like carved out of wood. So that was the one that I actually found. I was like, oh, that's an actual magnet, and I think it's cute. So got that one. And the next one, I was hoping to find a Haunted Mansion magnet, which I think they have, but I was struggling to find one. I think I found one after I bought this, and I like what I got better. So it's actually a keychain. And it spins. Hang on, let me see if I can. Oh, that's better. Okay, there we go. So it's a keychain and it spins. And my mom has helped me turn keychains into magnets once before because I was at one of my musicals and they were out of magnets. And so I was like, well, I want to buy something. So I bought a keychain and then my mom turned it into this awesome magnet. So I told her she was going to help me do the same thing with this. But I thought that would be a pretty fun Haunted Mansion magnet because it's my favorite ride in Magic Kingdom. So there's that one. And then I wanted one from Epcot and I wanted one from Hollywood Studios, and their selections were not great. And I was insistent that I wanted a magnet from Epcot that had Spaceship Earth on it, and they just didn't have any. But I found this pin, and sorry, it's backwards again, but so it has Spaceship Earth and it has Figment. And I figured we can figure out a way to turn that into a magnet. And then the same for Hollywood Studios. I did not like any of the ones that I saw. And so I eventually found a pin that says Disney's Hollywood Studios, and it has Mickey and Minnie and it kind of looks old school, like Hollywood sort of. I know it's not picking up the colors on it real great, but it's, yeah. So I liked it. And we will be turning that into a magnet as well. So the last ones were from Epic Universe, and I already mentioned how much I love How to Train Your Dragon, and that I wanted some magnets from that. But I was struggling to find ones that I liked, or that didn't look just kind of cheap and weird. So I actually found some coasters that will be very easy to turn into magnets. And so we have one with Toothless, and we have one with Astrid's dragon, which I believe is named Stormfly. So I'm not sure if I'm going to turn both of these into magnets or just toothless. We'll see. But definitely toothless. Okay, Elizabeth of the future here. And I just wanted to show you how the magnets came out because we did end up making them. So of course the one that was always a magnet. Then here is the one that we made out of the keychain. 999 happy haunts. And yeah, so it just spins, and that's just a little piece of wood that we got from like Hobby Lobby that we painted. And then the Epcot pin, the Hollywood Studios pin, and then of course the toothless coaster. I ended up turning the other coaster, well, I didn't turn it into anything. I'm using it as a coaster in my car cup holder. But yeah, so they all turned out great. The 2 pins, my mom used, I don't know what kind of tool it is. My dad has some kind of tool that like is meant to like cut nails if they're sticking out, and she used it to cut off like the pin part on the back so that we could attach a magnet. So yeah, they turned out great. Okay, that's it for the magnets. Next up, I also collect Christmas ornaments to a lesser extent. But I wanted one for this trip, and so I found this one that is the Hogwarts crest, and it has my name on it. So I thought that one was pretty cool. I struggled on this trip actually because I was looking the whole trip to find an ornament that I liked, and I was not finding any. So I actually found this one the last night as I was leaving Universal Studios. I just happened to see a Christmas store. I was like, oh, I guess I can go in there. And this was the only one that I saw that I was like, oh, I like that one. Okay. So yeah, that's my Christmas ornament for this trip. Okay, so now we come, like, that was a bunch of, like, little stuff. Now we come to the 2, not big, but bigger items for me. The last 2 items that I got for myself. The first is this cup. It's hard to see exactly what it is, but it says Frankenstein Manor on it. And then it has Frankenstein's face. And then it has a picture of, like, the house. And so this was from the Dark Universe area of Epic Universe. And it's actually a really like solid, like sturdy cup, because some of the ones that I was seeing in the parks were kind of not great quality, and this is like real sturdy. So I was pretty happy to find this, because my one that I use all the time here is about to break, I can tell. So I found this to replace it. And then you guys, if you watched my first Epic vlog, you will have seen me buy this. But it is the pearl necklace that I got from the Japan pavilion. So I did the oyster pearl opening experience, and the pearl that I got was absolutely massive, 8.5 millimeters, which is a pretty good sized pearl. And I went to Epcot knowing that I wanted to do the pearl experience and get a pearl. And I was like, I want to wait and see what the pearl is like before I decide if I want to spend more money to get a piece of jewelry with it. And when I saw the size of it and how beautiful it is, I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to spend a little more. I'm going to spend more and get it in a piece of jewelry. And so I got the necklace. So this was my major, more expensive purchase for myself. So I'm pretty happy about that. I'll need to start wearing that. Okay, and then the last couple things here are actually gifts. My best friend and her 2 young sons are very important to me, and I wanted to bring them something back. So I'm going to start with the least exciting, which is the gift for my best friend, which, sorry. No, I'm just kidding. So she really likes fun socks, and she wears all kinds of she's got some socks that have famous works of art on them and all kinds of fun stuff. And so I wanted to bring her back a couple pairs of socks from the parks. So I found this one that is Chip and Dale. It is just one pair. One is Chip and one's Dale. Oh, it has their names written on the bottom of the socks. I love it so much. So those are really cute. I hope she likes those. And then I wanted to get her one from Universal too. So I found this actually comes in a 2-pack, so I'm still deciding if I want to keep one of them for myself. But they're butterbeer themed, and so like the one pair is like this, and it's like you're wearing a cup of butterbeer, which butterbeer is non-alcoholic, by the way. It's like butterscotch flavored like drink. It's really good. And then there's this green pair that's just like checked and says like butterbeer all over it. So I think for sure I'm going to give her the one that looks like she's wearing like a mug of butterbeer, but I'm still deciding if I'm going to keep one of them for myself. So that's for her. And then for her 18-month-old, she told me before he left, I knew that I was going to give him a stuffed animal. And she said, well, he likes Winnie the Pooh, but he already has a Pooh and he already has a Piglet, I believe. And then she said, but he also really likes dogs. And she kind of said, get him whatever you want. And so I was kind of looking around and was having a hard time making up my mind. And then I saw this guy, and he's so cute. It's Doug from the movie Up. He's got his little talking collar thing, and he's really soft, and he's adorable. And his little tongue is sticking out. It's so cute. So that's what I got for her 18-month-old. Hopefully he loves him. Yeah, that's pretty cute. And then this last one I am so excited about. So this one is for her 4.5-year-old. And I kind of want to keep it for myself, just because it's so cool. So of course I had to get it from How to Train Your Dragon. And it is, let's see. Well, it's a stuffed toothless with a hiccup rider on him. And you can take the rider off, like it's Velcro. And so like it has this like, I don't know, reins, I guess, that's Velcro. And so you take it off and he comes off. He's this little guy with his little peg leg. And then Toothless has a saddle on him. And then his wings are hang on. And so his wings are like adjustable. So like you can fold them up or you can have them like spread out or whatever. Cause you can feel there's like a wire in there. So, I love this toy so much. I'm so excited that I found it because I knew I had talked with my friend going in and we had decided that How to Train Your Dragon was a good, theme. It was a good property for me to focus on when I was looking for a toy for him. And because he likes dinosaurs and we were like, well, dragons are pretty similar and they've been playing the music for him like at bedtime and stuff like that. And I thought that would be a perfect, type of toy to get for him. And I was struggling because I could find a lot of like straight, like stuffed animal Toothlesses of different sizes. And he still likes stuffed animals. And this is still, it's a stuffed animal. But I also saw like an action figure, like of Toothless with Hiccup as a rider, like with his like flaming sword and stuff like that. And it was really cool and it was really expensive. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then I found this and I thought it was just like the perfect like compromise because he's young enough that he still likes stuffed things and, he could sleep with this if he wants to, but it's still like an interactive toy that he can play with. And I love it so much, and I hope he likes it. I'm going to be giving it to them, all their gifts to them, actually in 2 days. So, 2 days from when this is recording. So I hope he likes it because I got so excited when I found it, and I think it's such a cool toy. Oh, and it has his tail with the rudder, and yeah, it's so cool. Anyway, so that's the toy I got for him, and I think it's just the coolest thing ever. Anyway, well, that's everything. A relatively small amount. I know that seems maybe like a crazy statement to some of you because there's a number of items, but I feel like, a couple magnets and pins and keychains and stuff is not too bad. So I had a great trip. I kind of went into this thinking I'm 41 years old. I'm already feel myself like running low on energy, like, compared to what I had a couple years ago. But I thought this might be my last Disney trip, and it's only my second one. Just because I'm not going to have the energy. I'm going to prove to myself with this trip that I don't have the energy to do these kind of trips anymore. And it was exactly the opposite. I found myself with a shocking amount of energy, pretty much good to go each day. I would start fighting a cold a little bit near the end, but even that like did not slow me down. And I don't find myself like, well, that was the last one, I'm too old for that now. That's not at all what I feel. Now, I don't know if I'm going to go back to Disney again. Not because I don't want to, but just because there are so many other places I want to go. And I don't spend this kind of money every year to go on vacation. I usually try to do like every other year. That way I can save and not spend every dime on vacation. So, my next vacation will probably be in 2028. My next big trip, let me say that, will probably be in 2028. I have some ideas. My parents and I have some ideas of things we want to do, but we won't make that decision for a while. If I do go to Disney, it probably won't be till 2030. But in 2028, I will probably do another big trip. I just don't know where that's going to be yet. But I have a lot of like little stuff planned, like little weekend getaways, and there's always plenty of stuff to do just within, a couple hours drive of me. And there's always like new stuff popping up. So I have a lot of ideas for the vlog. But I can always use more. I live in just outside Dayton, Ohio. And I'm always looking for stuff to do that's with, a reasonable day trip from Dayton. So if you guys know of something, please don't hesitate to send me a message or comment on this video and give me some ideas, because I love ideas. And I don't want to run out of them because I'm enjoying doing this vlog. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this Orlando series. If you did, give the video a like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram at Lead the Life Vlog, and I will see you next time. Bye.